Yongama from the UNISA. Hi, Yongama.
Hello, Albert. How are you?
Good.
Fantastic.
And you? I see Jean-Luc from the Baobab Makerspace. Hi, Jean-Luc. I see Nathalie from Chimolong.
Hello, apologies for being late.
No problem. I will share with you, just if you need it or you want to, to share with your colleagues, the link to access the YouTube live for this session. I see Jatine from Gizia. Okay, so we are live. We have now 12 participants. We'll wait again 2 minutes, but we'll start soon. And in any case, if you cannot follow all the session, you will be able to watch the YouTube recorded session. Okay, so share my screen. Okay, here we are. So hi everybody. So welcome on this first session with the coaches. So I'm Alban Hirel. I'm the founder of the Blue Ocean Awards, and so this program Blue Ocean Corners from the Blue Ocean City team, and I'm here with Jason from the Blue Ocean City team also. Jason, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm sure we've all crossed paths, but for the most part, Jason Hunter from Blue City with Alban, Blue Ocean Strategy Network, and other places. Yes, looking forward to working with you all. It'll be fun.
Okay, so we'll start maybe by just sharing with you the agenda, so it will permit to the other participant to have time to join, and then we'll introduce each of us. So the agenda today for this first session, it's we'll be together from 2 p.m. to 5:30 ideally, and we'll some reminders about the program to be more clear, some principles, and also we introduce the final deliverable of this program, and examples to give some illustration, some examples of this final deliverable. And then from 3 to 5, we'll have the workshop. So you will be grouped. All coaches, you will be grouped perimeters, industry perimeters. So we'll share you more details later. And at 5, we'll share with you some of the homework you will have to do for the next session. Next session will be with all the participants on the 24th in 1 week, the same day, but it will be from 9 to 6. So the coaches who we are here, so we have coaches here from Chimolong in Joburg. So Chimolong teams, if you want to say hi, and introduce yourself in a few words. Mia. You're
It would help if I
muted, Mia.
unmuted. Hi, my name is Mia. I am from Timologong Makerspace, or TMG Makerspace, which is part of Timologong Precinct in Braamfontein, Johannesburg. Hi.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Makamate. I am the community manager at Timologong. Yeah, it's good to join you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kwezi. I am in enterprise development at Timologong. Thank you.
Afternoon, everybody. Yongama Square. I'm from UNISA's pre-seed incubator. Great to be here.
Yongama. So yeah, UNISA, we can have people from UNISA introducing themselves. I know you have also a colleague, Yongama, from the UNISA. Yeah, no, he's not yet.
Our colleague is, sorry, Albert, my colleague is not here yet, but he does have the link as well as if he doesn't make it, we'll be able to look at the recording.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared in the chat the links for the YouTube. So you can
Brilliant. Thank you, sir.
Watch again. And we have coaches from H7 in Morocco, Casablanca. Hi, Morocco. Are they here? With Aziz, maybe. Emmanuel, Amin. No, you're not here, not yet here. From Morocco, the H7. No, I'm not yet here, it seems. Okay, so we have also maybe people joining from TUT in the invitation of the UNISA, University of Technology. No, not yet. Okay. Baobab, I see from Baobab, Durban.
Hi,
Well,
I'm from the Durban University of Technology.
Ah.
And I'm Lana Ann.
You are from TUT?
Yes,
Can you
that's
repeat
correct.
your name?
My name is Lana Ann.
Anna, okay. Anna. Okay, and you can just say a few words about you. What do you do in the TUT?
So at Durban University of Technology, I am part of the InnoBiz, and I am a lecturer in the Department of Entrepreneurial Studies and Management, and I'm also the program coordinator for Entrepreneurship Academic, as well as the faculty advisor for Enactors, which is our student entrepreneurship development, of which I am a coach and a mentor, and I also am a business mentor for Startup Bootcamp.
Okay, great. So DUT, huh? It's not TUT, it's
yes,
DUT,
Durban University. Yes, thank you.
Do you have other of your colleagues here from DUT? No, maybe no.
I don't see any names that I recognize, so I'm assuming no.
And feel free to open your video. It's more comfortable, more friendly, and to see, because of this remote session is very, if your connection is good, of course. And we have some Baobab from Baobab. I see Jean-Luc from the Baobab Durban Makerspace.
Hi, Alban. Hi, everyone. Really excited to. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me clearly? Can I get a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So my name is Jean-Luc Koenig. I work in partnership. I work in partnership with the Makerspace and with Baobab in my capacity as finance manager and business development manager at Blackbox. And so I've got a close connection. And having worked with Baobab in the beginning of the project, we're partners, and yeah, just incredibly excited for what this program has in store. Lana, I know I think I dealt with you a few years ago from when the makerspace was trying to make inroads into DUT. So very excited that you're a part of this. And Lana is incredibly passionate about entrepreneurship and development. So very excited to have her
Thank you.
here. Sorry.
Nice. And your other colleagues from Baobab, maybe Nkululeko, he has joined. I don't see him for now. NK, are you here, NK? No, I don't see him. Maybe later. So we have also the coach team from Tuxnovation in the University of Pretoria. Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we do have. My name is Lesejo. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with my video. It's not showing.
No, it's okay. Okay.
Yes, my name is Lesejo Piri, and I am the IT support specialist for Tuxnovation. So I have a colleague of mine who will be joining a bit later.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have colleagues from Tuxnovation already here?
I am from Tuxnovation, so I'm the only one.
Ah, you're the only one.
Yes.
For now. Okay. You know if it will be more.
Yes, a colleague of mine, Kensani.
I've logged on. Hi.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
She's here. I see her.
Hi, I'm here.
Kensani.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kensani Nkuna from Tuxnovation. I'm the Enterprise Development Manager based in Tuxnovation. We are an incubator that provides a business development support for tech startups that are mostly from the university students and communities around. Thank you.
And congrats to all the Tuxnovation team and Kensani and Findile for the great event last week for the launch on Friday.
Yeah. You're most
beautiful
welcome.
Place. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Kensani, and then we have Isaiah and maybe Sipo from City of Trane. Maybe I see Isaiah is connected. Hi Isaiah, how are you? Maybe he's not connected anymore. He disappeared. Maybe a problem of connection. Okay, who could not introduce himself from now, and you can proceed, please. I see Varun Navalgun. You are from Igezia.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, you can see yeah, Varun and Jatin. They are from Igezia, the platform. The editor who is doing the platform will be using for all the session to use the Brocean tools. They will be supporting you in any case of problems or questions. I see Ayanda. Ayanda is connecting. I see enterprise development. Nukuturo. It's Nukutura. Nukutura, if you want to introduce yourself.
Afternoon, everybody. Sorry I joined in late. And I'm sorry again that I don't have my camera on. My name is Notula Shong, and I work at Tsimologong Digital Innovation Hub. I'm a project coordinator for the Enterprise Development Department. Yes.
Okay, great. Welcome. Who want to introduce himself? Who have not yet? Solomon.
So hi, is Aziz speaking. I don't know if you heard me well.
Hi, Aziz from H7, Morocco.
Hi. Hi, South Africa. This is Aziz Lassi from Morocco. So nice joining you. Okay, so you're more than welcome. And let us know when you will be coming here.
Your video. And, I see you. I will see. Yeah, we see your video now. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah. So we are running H7, which is an incubator and accelerator here in Morocco for the local entrepreneur and also for the diaspora that want to enter the African markets. And how we have been running the company for the past 3 years now. and we are developing and opening offices and partnership around the region. Now I'm in Dubai, but we have a partnership also here in UAE for people who want to answer the MENA region.
Great. Welcome, Aziz. You have other colleagues from H7?
They will join later on.
Want to introduce themselves? Okay. Yeah, maybe it was because there is 1 hour of difference between Morocco and South Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
We have someone called Enterprise Development. I don't know who is she or he. With Enterprise Development, want to introduce himself or herself?
It is actually me, Alban. I'll change my name just now. Noktula. It's Noktula, and I've already sorry for the confusion. Yeah, I'll change my name just now.
No, that's okay. And I see Ayanda has joined, and Isaiah also. If you want to introduce yourself, gentlemen. Ayanda from the UNISA. We see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayanda.
Hi.
I'm from the University of South Africa. I'm the tech transfer office there, but also we run a pre-incubation program, for pretty much small number of, awardees for the UNISA Innovation Challenge, which are mostly our students. Thank you very much. I look forward to participating in this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayanda. And I see Isaiah join us from the city of Trane. Isaiah Engelbrecht, if you want to introduce yourself, Isaiah. Maybe can Matthias. Okay, so maybe later. He told me he has some load shedding problems. Have everybody been introduced? Or please raise your hand, if not. Me, Anzil, it was at the beginning. Natalie, you have introduced yourself? Natalie Mack?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Lanan Brady. Lanahan, you renamed Lanahan from DUT. Okay, I think everybody has proceeded.
Alban, maybe 17. Just Solomon, who's also here from DUT.
Yes, please proceed. Introduce. Yeah, introduce yourself, please. Yeah, Lanahan, you want to introduce someone from DUT? Or you want to introduce your?
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Good afternoon. It's Solomon from DUT, from Center for Social Entrepreneurship. We
cannot tell you. That's good, Solomon.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be part of this session.
Can you repeat the end of your speech because it was cut? The audio was off.
Okay, my name is Solomon Nyamurima. I'm the manager at the Center for Social Entrepreneurship, which is one of the units, entrepreneurship units at DUT, InnoBiz. We are an incubator, which is government funded. We have different groups of entrepreneurs from ideation right through to pre-incubation, incubation, and post. We run a couple of enterprise supply development programs as well. I'm glad to be part of the session for today's program. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Solomon. And Isaiah, maybe, are you back? If you want to introduce yourself, Isaiah Engelbrecht. No, It's not here. Okay, so it's okay. We had everybody introducing himself. Okay, he sent me SMS. WhatsApp is connecting. Maybe later. So we will start. Thanks a lot. Here are some reminders. About the program, just to be sure that all is clear. So it's supported and funded partly by TI, the French Embassy, the UNISA, soon maybe also DUT, the H7, and so partly Servier. As you saw here, just I'm coming back, there is Veolia here in the list of coaches, the expert, mentoring experts to support. We'll have, we are very proud of that. We'll have 4 engineers from Veolia in South Africa joining to support the entrepreneurs in the prototyping. So 2 are from the water management and 2 are from the waste management, expert in these fields. So the key partners for this program. So this program is it was launched very well at the Technovation last Friday on 12th of November, and it will be running until the final jury around the 22nd of February, with mostly 5 key steps, training sessions for the coaches, for you. It will be always brief and debrief of the main session. And this main session, they will be on one day from, as I said, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with all the entrepreneurs, but you will be in charge of managing during all the afternoon on each session. We'll be in charge of managing these groups to let them produce the deliverable for each session, for each workshop. That's why we'll prepare with you, and you will train yourself before you are able to train to support the entrepreneurs with the same tools. So today, you will use the first tool called Visual Awakening. And it's the tool is the strategic canvas called Aziz, the first version of the strategic canvas. In your understand, it will be an understanding for you of the industry in terms of value. And the first session of the 24th, with the first main session with all the entrepreneurs and you, will be the same, almost. Okay, so you will be ready to support them. At the step number 3, you see it's exploration. It's a very key moment in the program. It's mostly on December, all of December. Here we will have the entrepreneurs conducting interviews with the non-users, citizens who are currently excluded from the public services. Okay, and we use each of these and then ideation and creation, and then a final jury leaded, supported, and with the cities as stakeholders. And the cities have a commitment to us to give a territory, to give a territory to experiment each interesting services they would like. And also prototyping with the support of Veolia engineers, and also support of the makerspace, because we have 2 makerspace here joining this program in the Baobab in Durban and Chemalong in Joburg. And then we'll have the finalists of this selected project by the cities will be automatically finalists of the Blue Ocean Awards. Okay, and you as coaches, you will get from this time after the final jury 6 months support. You will be able to use the platform you will be using for all the program on 6 months, and having a direct contact relation with us, with the expert of the Blue Ocean strategy, to be guided, to be supported in any other any other project you could have with your colleagues or entrepreneurs in your incubator. Do we have some question here about the big map, the overview of the program? Is it all clear for everybody here? Yes. Okay. So here we are at the first step. We start with you, with the coaches, to be trained, to be introduced to this Blue Ocean strategy. So you have also in the document all the details and the date for each session. You will receive after this session agenda invitation request to have all this session in your agenda already set. So it will be a lot of invitations you will receive. And yeah, you have the details also here. So here we are today at the 17th November for the first session with the coaches, with you. The objective of today is to make you able to know how to build and analyze a strategic canvas. This is our objective today. So the workshop part, and today it will be mostly workshop, is strategic canvas and 6+ description. Okay. First step, just to give you very practical information. The first step here today will be to have each of the coaches selecting their perimeter, their industry perimeter. And one coach can be only on one perimeter, in the same perimeters. Okay, we have received some we have received already some guidelines from the cities, and Isaiah from City of Chennai has shared at the kickoff what is key, what are the key topics for City of Chennai currently, and we made a selection to help you with this six hot topics, six perimeters. We will discuss maybe if you want to add some or if you want to precise some, but to be on time, we need to quite quickly make you select. You could select in which one you want to work today, and ideally you will keep the same perimeter during all the session and with your entrepreneurs. So it will make you being ready with your entrepreneurs, and your entrepreneurs will be working on the same field you have already prepared with us. Are you all comfortable with these topics? It's the most key topics we have in the city, and we have heard from the meetings we got. Okay, I see. Today, you will receive all the invitation, as I said, to have the 11 one-day main session. We'll have, and we will have also the 10 session dedicated to the coaches. So our session with the coaches, it's 2, 3, 4 hours maximum. Okay. And you have normally already received, all of you, and please raise your hand if not, you have received your email to connect to Iglesia, to the platform, the Blue Ocean Corner platform we'll use to work all together and to have your entrepreneurs working all together. It's an application, so it works on any device, computer, mobile phone, tablet, and it's web app, so you don't need to install anything. Okay, and it's collaborative platform, so you can each team, you will see how it works. Each team can work all together, connected on Zoom, for instance, on audio, on Google, or Microsoft Teams as well, and they can all play, move the things all together, and challenge and discuss. Do everybody has to join Iglesia? It's an email from Iglesia support, and the title is something like BOCorners. Is okay? Everybody has received this, and you could.
From my side, I didn't receive it, Alban.
You have received it? You said
no. I didn't. Sorry.
You didn't?
Nope.
You are on the list. And Jean-Luc also, I'm not received. Maybe have a look in your spam because you are in the list. If you have not received, please send in the discussion your email where you want to receive this invite in the chat, the Zoom chat, and Valun and Jatin, they will proceed and invite you directly. Okay?
Yeah, I will note down the new ones and I will send them the invite.
Okay. So please, Aziz, write your email, and Jean-Luc also. Yeah, Jean-Luc, write him, and Aziz will proceed too. But I'm surprised because I saw your email in the list, both of you. Okay, and Kensani, she said she cannot register. So maybe Varun and Jatin, you can check with Kensani why she cannot register. She got the email, but she cannot register, she said.
Okay, I will just.
Okay, so please, okay, chat with her. Yeah, you can. Please contact Varun directly on the chat. You know, on Zoom chat, you can select. And Yongama has not received no, Yongama, it's not a link, it's an email with an invitation. So Yongama, please send your email address to Varun. But you were in the list also, Yongama, so it's strange, maybe it's in the spam. So everybody, please, if you have not seen or received or it does not work to register, please send a chat directly to Varun Navalgun from Iglesia. Okay, Yongama. So Varun, there is also Yongama. He told me in a direct message he has not received the email. Okay, so everybody, please send this to Varun. So principles. Now I will let Jason proceed and share the principles of the brochure strategy with the WCAs. Jason, the floor is yours. Jason?
Yes, I'm here. I need you to share the screen.
So in the meantime, everybody, please, if you cannot access the platform or you have not received the invitation email, please send a direct chat to Varun Navalgun from Iglesia. Maybe Varun, you can rename you Iglesia if you want, so people can easily identify you. Yeah, I did it. So Iglesia, please send. I see Jody joining us. Hi, Jody. Maybe there are some new people. No, it's okay. So please, everybody, if you cannot access, yeah, we see your screen. So you cannot email to access the platform or it does not work. Send an email, send a chat in Zoom to Iglesia. It's Varun. Yeah.
Okay, we can come back to those details at any time. It'll take some time to get going. You've all been exposed to Blue Ocean strategy to some extent or another.
Jason, we cannot hear you.
Well, someone was speaking, which I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Shall I go ahead or are we good? Okay.
So let's go.
Okay. So the easiest way to really understand blue ocean strategy is doing it, understanding it from different perspectives, really working with their tools, because they change with industry, they change with the stakeholders, they change with even the participants, because the key thing is the mindset change of the team. When you start with your teams, with your entrepreneurs, you might think you understand everything about each other, everything about what you're doing, everything about where you're doing it at, who you're doing it for, why you're doing it. But then you start and you realize nobody has the same assumptions at all. So especially this very first step, it's incredibly important to understand your assumptions and continuously communicate. Don't take anything for granted. Say, that doesn't really fit with me. Yes, you're gonna have to compromise, at times, but at the same time, be very clear, be very nice, and be very open. Of course, it'll be. So I wanted to use a case, kind of a true case. It's a case which Blue Ocean Strategy team worked with Nintendo. So there's a lot of the things that happened. And it's good because it shows you from, what are they called, soup to nuts, everything that happened. It won't always be this clean. Blue Ocean Strategy is a recursive process. You go forwards, you go backwards, you go forward. You're constantly kind of sweeping up a room because you don't want to leave anything behind. But this gives kind of a clear linear look at what Nintendo did. So let's start. Nintendo started in 1890 as a game company, and this is very crucial to their story. They made card games. They were about games. They weren't about Super Mario Brothers. They weren't about video games. They were about playing games. And so they evolved over the years and always making board games and card games and things of that nature until the electronic revolution started happening in the 1970s, 1980s. They introduced video games in the late 1980s. I became very, very good at them during the early 90s, leading the world. And then their world fell in because Microsoft and Sony decided to enter the market. These massive, massive companies with massive resources entered the market and just killed this company. Just absolutely murdered them. They couldn't compete on price because there was Microsoft and Sony were subsidizing the price. They were losing about $250 per game they sold. Couldn't compete on technology, couldn't compete on marketing, couldn't compete anywhere. So they were actually about to go back to just making regular card games, getting out of the video game business altogether. So Saito-san, the CEO of this company at the time, he reportedly went to the team and its team of engineers, team of marketing people, team of ethnographic researchers, and gave them three DVD boxes. His only parameter for this was the box, the video game box must be this big. That was really the only parameter. People were just kind of scratching their heads, well, what does that mean? So begin with a visual awakening. Again, an incredibly important part of Blue Ocean Strategy that so many people want to jump over, but don't. It's incredibly important because we always have different ideas of what we do, how we do it, and who we do it for. So here we begin by looking at the market, awakening ourselves up to reality, and sometimes awakening yourselves up to the need for change, which is incredibly important because sometimes people are just like, oh, why should I change? I'm getting a paycheck, we're doing okay. Why should we change? So it's also getting people mobilized, realizing that we're really not that delightful. We're just kind of really boring and just struggling to get by. So I've simplified the whole process into this simple graph, and it begins with the visual awakening. We're skipping over the PMS map, the Pioneer Migrator Settler map for now. And then the buyer experience cycle buyer utility map will be the next one, which today we focus on the as a strategy canvas. You see the arrow going down because generally speaking, this is where we start understanding how we can bring down costs, where we're adding things without adding much value. We start understanding where to reduce pain points. Where are we actually creating difficult for people, not because we want to, it's just because this is how we've always done it and people accept it to some extent. So the as a strategy canvas, a brilliant thing that I think, well, Renee came up with this on a plane actually, and I think it's still one of the greatest things, additions to strategy, because it captures everything you need to know about your strategy in a picture. You know, let's say pictures speak 1,000 words. Strategy canvas instantly hits that impact. It is also a story. It's your strategic storyline. So there's interpretations of it as well, but it is the collective narrative of what your team believes is your as-is strategy. So what does it tell you? Well, number one, what do you compete on? What do you spend money on? So if you're a company, you spend money on these things to make your customers happy, to increase their utility. Utility is, I get something from this. And that's a very, very important word, utility, because it also works in the public sector. It means I get benefit from it. I get cleaner air. I get a faster commute. I get utility from it. So same thing in commerce. We get utility from things. It's just an economic word. That means I get something from it. You always start with price. And so in the case, let's say you're a city government, your price is how much your taxes are essentially. Your price for a product or service is how much do you expect people to pay for it. Price is always absolute. A high price is high, a low price is low. And then you put the key competitive factors, the things you spend money on to increase utility. Now you begin doing it from your perspective. So, you know, this is what you think. You know, you don't have to do any research. This is what your team thinks. And it's really trying to get at, well, what do we do? What do we spend money on? So that's on the x-axis. On the y-axis is how much or how little you offer. So then the light blue one, you connect the lines, and that's your value curve. The line is called the value curve. You connect the lines, and that's essentially your strategic profile. So here, you know, we're mid-range price, essentially. You know, we're same on ergonomics with our competitors. We're a little better on the product quality. Craftsmanship, they're much better than we are. They're more comfortable than we are. The design aesthetics, that's where we put a little bit more time and money in. And the materials, we're a little bit better than competition. This is all relative. So there's no wrong answers, frankly. There's frankly no wrong answers here. And you put your competitors offering. So many times I work with, like, especially luxury companies, says, oh, we're top on everything. We're the best. Why are we doing this? This is stupid. And then ask them, well, draw your competitors. And then they draw the competitors. It's the same thing. You might be spending a lot of money on something, you're giving the best, but if you're the same as your competition, you're nothing, you're nobody. So that's really, really important. And then how much or how little you offer. And that's basically our relative feeling of how much or how little we offer at each stage. So that's a very simple question. How does a game console industry attract customers? Basically, they go to this kid, they go to the 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and said, what do you want? And what does that 8-year-old say? Give me everything. I want more buttons. I want more violence. I want more graphics. I want more speed. And what did Microsoft and Sony do? Gave the kid everything. Here you go, kid. We love you. You're the best. And that was it. No, it's not it. But basically, you know, we try to understand, well, what does the competition do? So here in the x-axis, this is what they found. Video game industry 2005. And this was a Cold War between these two. So Microsoft would go up on something, then Sony would copy, spend more. So it's constantly, it's a battle to just keep doing more and more and more. Here's a little divergence. And the as a strategy canvas will change with time, obviously. So you'll need to update it as you go forward. So here the price was about the same. Microsoft a little better on graphics. Non-gaming functionality about the same. Sony a little better. So that's like DVDs, things like that. Processing power, Xbox was much better at the time. They're better at online gaming. The design aesthetics of the box itself, you know, they felt that Microsoft a little bit better. The boxes are really ugly, actually, because they're made for the 10-year-old, you know, this big, massive Star Wars looking thing there. And finally, the number of games that were available. But we're really mostly focusing on the box itself. That's what's so key here. So if you see, okay, where would our company go in if they entered the market again? Where could they go in and outcompete them? Traditional strategy says everything is binomial. You can only move things up and down. You can't change anything. All the rules are set in traditional strategy. You just can only move things up and down. Where would our strategy go in? I could say, oh, we can maybe find a space in between Sony and Microsoft here. Well, they're just going to catch up anyhow, Sony. Well, what if we made it very cheap across the bottom? Well, it's not really going to attract the mass of the customers that we need. So by going by traditional strategy, saying you can't change anything, you're really, really stuck. So this is why we practice BOCorners strategy. So next up is we look at the buyer experience cycle. So we understand what the market is competing on. Then we start understanding, well, what's it from our customers' perspective? We do a lot of research on them, but from their perspective, from what they don't tell us, what can we understand? And we take it a bit further in Blue Ocean strategy. So traditional, looking at the buyer journey, we look at the guy on the right, follow that person around, see where they're, slowing them down, comparing the games, buying the games, setting it up, all of that. That's okay. But it gets more interesting when we start putting the non-customer through the buyer experience. Like, what is their journey through this process? She's much more interesting for a number of ways, but mostly because she doesn't play video games. So her sensitivity to pain points will be much higher. And they're often the same as the core customer, but the core customer just wants the game really bad. So we started looking at non-customers. And we started asking, who are the biggest non-customers for video games? And it's old people and it's very young people. What is the buyer experience like? So what are the steps from, we'd actually force them to compare, go online, search for a video game machine, go to the store, compare, talk to the salesperson, buy one, set it up. 90% of people wouldn't even get to the setup or finish setting it up because they're so frustrated. So that is the buyer experience cycle. Then we start looking at, well, where are we blocking utility? Where are we blocking utility at each step? And here, and we'll come back to this because there's enormous, again, insight to be created when you start looking at non-customers and their pain points. Because that's, again, this is why their non-customers are turning to something else because of this. And this is where we can start to understand where can we decrease our cost structure too, because we spend a lot of money trying to attract our customers. That just creates pain points that pushes away our non-customers. And again, it's the same in public policy as it is in private sector. So we could stop there and basically there, that would be design thinking, to be honest. It's basically design thinking because we're optimizing our offering. We're not trying to change our offering. We're not trying to make an alternative to our offering. We're optimizing the offering. So this is when we depart from design thinking for those who have experience in it. Now we start doing something quite radical, and it'll be very uncomfortable for most people because we're going away from what we do. We're paid to know and we're paid to do. So we start talking to people who we don't know, and we don't know what to do for them, but they give us so much insight. This is the visual exploration. And this is where the arrow goes up, because this is where we really start finding the things that increase value. A note on value. Remember I mentioned utility, I get something for it. Value equals utility minus price. It's something very, very important because people throw around the word value. People throw the word around innovation. I can go back to the definitions of those too. And people throw around the word strategy. So when we talk about value, it's utility minus price, like the right amount of utility, certain amount of utility for the right price. So the 6 paths framework, you're not going to have a lot of ahas here. You're going to have a lot of, that's interesting. That's interesting. But once you start understanding non-customers' behavior, you start understanding, there's a lot more opportunity out there for us. So I'm simplifying the 6 paths enormously here just for time, but we're asking what are the alternatives they're turning to instead of video games? And that would be gardening. We found in the research, retired people like to be outside and gardening. Why would be the next question. don't know why that didn't come up. I'm sorry, but it should say why. This is an old thing. So what do they turn to? Gardening. Why? It's outside, it's active, it's social. Found that people like to play, instead of playing video games, they would play card games. Why? It's competitive. People still like to be competitive no matter what their age. It's social, it's active. Like to play golf or tennis. Why? It's social, it's active, it's intuitive. So you start seeing a pattern here. And the why aspect of it is the key point, because if we stopped at what, we just try to recreate, putting together a video game and a golf club, and that makes no sense whatsoever. We're trying to look at the underlying principle, the principal utility. The principal utility is the most basic level of pleasure or functionality or of use that you can give. It's very simplified. But on the left-hand side, that's the younger people. What do they turn to? And on the right-hand side, that's the elderly people, the two big non-customer groups. That's what do they turn to. And then you start filling in the why, Okay, for gambling, it's easy. Playing toys, that's easy. TV is easy. And you start seeing a pattern across the what's. It's competitive. Oh, it's fun. All of these start having these same things there. Oh, it's social. Isn't that interesting? A lot of them are social. And most of them are active, So right now we're looking at, wow, this is what's desirable. This is what's desirable for our non-customers. Then we start putting it together. This is where the ahas start. And this is, this isn't until 3/4 into the process, you're able to start putting your ingredients together to make a great recipe, a great dish. And it's like raising the value and bringing down the cost structure. So in this way, if you can look at it this way, it's intuitive. What is desirable for people turning away from video games? It has to be intuitive. You have to pick it up. It's got to be competitive. It's got to be social with other people, not just sitting in the dark playing a video game. And it's got to be for the whole family. Next, how can we make this happen then? So they want all of these things. How can we make this happen? Now, actually, Nintendo went to through the team, they found this company that was making automobile parts. It's called Analog Technologies in New Jersey. Really old company, not making much money, really bad margins. But they made all these, commoditized stuff. The infrared sensor, beep, 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 beep sound. The accelerometer, which slows your car down, when you're trying to brake. The Bluetooth, of course, for your telephone and other, devices. All of these are old technologies. So it's going from desirable to what's feasible, and then recombining them. So we're going to bring down our non-customers don't care about the graphics, the speed, they don't need the internet, they don't need a DVD. This brings down the cost structure. So we can take that money and put it somewhere else, and that is the intuitiveness of it. And then the launch. And of course, this is the Wii that came out of this process. It is the size of 3 DVD boxes because the non-customer, they don't want a big ugly thing in their living room. The non-customer is an adult. They don't want all these, the wires and things hanging around. The wand, again, old technology, but that makes it intuitive. You can just pick it up and it buzzes and it's like, I think I get this. And you can just start playing right away. This is the EarthGrid. Again, you'll see that so many of the tools in Blue Ocean Strategy are very simple, but it took a long time and a lot of hard work to make them very simple. This one is incredibly powerful. It's, people, especially strategic thinkers, love it because it forces you to make decisions. So here for Nintendo, they asked, what do we eliminate? High resolution graphics, all the things that non-customers didn't care. What do we do less of? What do we reduce? We still need it to be a video game, but we can save money elsewhere. What do we raise? What do we offer more of against the competition to differentiate ourselves? And what do we create all anew? People always think the create is the most creative, actually, but it's not. It's actually very rarely there. The most difficult part, the most innovative part is always the eliminate, to be honest. Because again, we have a very hard time as human beings to stop doing things. So this is, and of course, you know the results. remember when it came out, I was really nervous because all of the magazines, the video game magazines, TV shows says this is a piece of junk, nobody's going to buy it. This is for babies. And boom, overnight it sold out, nearly overnight. It was 48 hours or so, sold out worldwide. Still today, the biggest selling video game console ever. And the non-customers were the first ones to really eat it up. But then after a few months, the gamers started like, oh, this is kind of cool. And so then they would have two types of video game machines. This always happens. Our non-customers will lead because they're like, huh, this is revolutionary. I would never, for example, worked on mascara. Non-customers, oh my God, I love this mascara. And it takes a little time for the core customers to say, oh, this is really great. Why did I do it that way? This always happens. Non-customers are the leaders, and the core customers follow suit a bit later. So we take the IRCR to order our key competitive factors, and so we can visually represent what is our 2B strategy. And so you can see at the industry as a whole, it's just high on everything, basically, on all key competitive factors. And this is what we're going to be looking for in your 2B strategy canvases, in your value curves, is what you see in the blue. On the left-hand side, you can say, this is what we're saying no to. This is what's called focus. This is what Apple's, Steve Jobs has said, their key to winning the game is to focus, to say no. So here it's saying no to all the things, the key things Microsoft and Sony, spend so much money on. In the middle is kind of that transition area where we're going to do a little bit less, we're going to do a little bit more. And then on the right, this is how we're absolutely divergent from the competition. So you can see we're bringing down the cost on the left-hand side. And you can see on the right-hand side how we're diverging from the competition and creating a differentiated offering. Again, it's going to be in public policy. It can be in private policy, private sector, and the mixture of the two. And that's just essentially the process of going, it has a flow. It is not an engineered process, but at each step, you will need to meet, your milestones. And you may, and don't be afraid of, oh, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? No, you'll always go back because you'll always be finding something new, and you'll be updating some things that you prove to be wrong or misinformed, or it will be reinforcing of ideas that you made before. So here the issue is to, as I said, don't mistake the menu for the meal. Each step is part of the menu. And so this first step, the as a strategy canvas, is incredibly important. And so are all the other steps. But treat each and every one of them, with respect, but realize you've got to move forward. Everything's not going to be perfect, especially in a group dynamic when there may be some disagreement. So that is briefly what Blue Ocean strategy is. The other day when in the opening I kind of gave more of the big picture theory. This is this is what you do. And as I said before, strategy is what you do, not what you say. And so this is really the how you do it. And with that, I will open to questions or
Yes. Do we have some questions here for Jason about the Wii case?
Boom. And if you do at any time, you know where I'm at or where we're at, because
Kwesi is raising her hand. Kwesi.
So I just wanted to know, are we going to get like a manual or something that we can follow with the workshops?
Manual? No, it's all online.
It's all online.
Yeah, there is books. There are the books, of course, Blue Ocean Strategy and Blue Ocean Shift books. You can find in a digital version on Amazon. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's training. We are doing training. So this is it's organized. It's basically first sharing some concept, the basic concept, and how to use the tool, and then using this tool. And this is what we'll do right now. And it is 80%, 90% of the program. It's using the tool learning by doing. So there is no, but the manual is online. It's a platform. We have been registered to follow each step with the explanation how to use each tool. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does. And obviously we can access the platform, right, even outside of the session to recap and revisit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can access the platform anytime you want. Yeah, and also the YouTube. You can watch each session on YouTube when you want. I see Lana Anne talk about the Cirque du Soleil, the famous circus from Canadian from there. It's one of the key historical example. You are very detailed in the first book, Blue Ocean Strategy. And Jean-Luc has raised his hand. Jean-Luc.
Jason, thanks very much for that. Yeah, just it's more of a comment. I think it would take some time to develop like proper comprehensive questions, but the whole non-customer idea and that mapping was really interesting. I think and incredibly valuable, and I think looking forward to applying it.
Yeah, it's the key aspect of it, and often misunderstood, because Peter Drucker was, 35 years ago, was the first one to mention non-customers, was only as, well, they're the ones who go somewhere else. But here in Blue Ocean Strategy, we're not only trying to, the number one step is to try to learn from them. And if you're lucky, you can capture them. Some people think that, oh, if you go after a non-customer, it means you lose your existing customers. And that's just stupid. You don't want to do that. Or your existing constituents, if you're a government. So first step is to learn from them. And then most of the time, when you're learning from, you actually start melding the market between the customers and non-customers, as we did. And that's the magic movement. So learn from them, and as you learn from them, you're able to start increasing the size of your existing market by combining the two.
Thanks very much.
Do we have other questions or reactions?
GoPro. Again, that's a stripped down version of the video recorder. It's a question I always have working in electronics is, the engineers love to add more buttons. It's just ridiculous. It's
more screens, more buttons, more complex.
And again, some of the best strategies is some of the best
strategies. The first GoPro, it's exactly that, to simplify a lot, to create this new value of being able to show yourself when you do sport and you sharing your passion, even if there is not enough storage, not enough quality of this or that, you accept to reduce what you usually have with a video recorder, just because you have access, it gives you access to another value hidden until now. And there is a question from Mia. Do you mind going back to the conclusion slide? What do you mean, Mia? Going back to the conclusion slide?
Just a moment.
Jason, second slide. Yeah, second last slide. You need to share again your screen.
That's what I'm doing.
You have a question on that, Mia? Okay. Yeah. Mia, if you want later, you can proceed to some testing to have the audio from. Normally, it should work. Zoom it's quite working fine. You had a question on this slide, Mia?
Yeah. We'll just have to come back to it.
All this content, and with you after each session, you will get all the content we show you. Okay, so
just wanted to reread it.
So maybe we'll. Okay, maybe here we'll do a quick pause because we are quite short time. We'll, if you want, yeah, Jason, you will share again the slide, but we can
sorry
take a
for
few.
only chatting and not talking. That was rude. I was just trying to manage both devices here. No, thanks. I just wanted to, there was just a last bit that I didn't read in time before the slide changed. So I just wanted to see that last bit. Thank you so much, Jason. What an insightful session. Thanks.
We share all the slide. After each session, you have all the slide. Don't worry.
Awesome. Thanks so
you
much.
have also back in the word, in the voiceover. Okay, so let's take maybe 5, at least maybe let's meet at 15, at 3:15. Short pause, okay, and then we continue. We introduce the workshop in Canva tool. Okay, all good for us. So we meet in yeah 7 minutes at 3:15 with a short pause. So everybody is back. We'll continue. Yeah. I see we have maybe some participants who have joined us and could not introduce themselves at the beginning of the session. I see Nukululeko from Durban Baobab. Nukululeko, you want to introduce yourself in a few words? Isaiah also from City of Chennai is here. If you want to introduce yourself, Isaiah.
Hey folks, I am from the sunny city of Durban.
Nukululeko first and then Isaiah. Yeah. Nukululeko, please repeat.
Cool. I'm Nukululeko. Yeah, from the sunny city of Durban. So it's looking a bit bleak today, otherwise all good. I'm joined by a good colleague of mine and good friend, Jean-Luc. Yeah, just very happy to be here.
Nice. And you are also in touch with the Etukwani municipality. So, as we said, it's very key to have these municipalities involved. And we have Isaiah from City of Chennai, Executive Innovation Director. Isaiah.
Hi. Yes, good afternoon, Alba and colleagues. It's good to be here. Apologies for earlier. And the load shedding, so I battled with connectivity, but I managed to find something. So, yeah, I work with the City of Tshwane, Head of Innovation and Knowledge Management. And yeah, looking forward to this training. Thanks, Alba.
Thank you, Isaiah. Do we have other participants who have not been introduced until now? Okay, so we'll continue. So just few minutes to share with you what is concretely the result of Blue Ocean strategy, and here what concretely you will get for the entrepreneurs following this program. It's very as Jason said, I will not come back on that difference between red and blue ocean strategy. You want to go out of the competition with the blue ocean strategy. You don't want to fight when you are a startup, when you're entrepreneurs. You will not fight with big corporates with the same tools, the same approach. You will find another way. And the non-customers, the non-users will give you this way. They will, by their experience, they will show you the way. It's, as Jason said, all about diverging and simplification at the same time. So it's bringing higher value at lower cost. So you will eliminate, reduce, raise, and create compared to the standard offering of the industry. With these actions, it's called the 4 actions matrix, you will get a new offering. So all these key principles just shared by Jason on the wikis have been all set in key deliverables of the Blue Ocean strategy. We call them the Blue Ocean matrix. It's exactly what all the participants and the finalists of the Blue Ocean Awards since 2014, they present to the jury. They show, it's a one view, one simple view in one slide, one page to understand all your Blue Ocean strategy, all what you do. So it's about the actions compared to the standard offering. So this Red Ocean standard offering, you are challenging and you are breaking to break the rules and to find another way. Which non-users, non-customers you have been inspired by, you are addressing partly with which market potential, with and the value proposal and your identity. If we share here, we'll come back on this, but it's very important to have this in mind. There are the 7 criteria used by the jury in the Blue Ocean Awards. to select the winners of the Blue Ocean Awards each year in each country, each region. There's very actionable principles. And you will see in this Blue Ocean strategy journey, you will be following these rules, these criteria, using the tools, using the mindset, using the principles, the methodology. It's all about the application concretely of this criteria. It's first to be focused. You focus on key moments, on the utility. That's the best way to select, to simplify, to eliminate all, as we said, with the GoPro or with the Wii, all these buttons, features, or screens, the engineers want always to add. So it's being focused on the key moments in the experience. It's being interested, being inspired by the non-customer. So the exploration in this Blue Ocean strategy, you will proceed. You will have to have interviews, to conduct interviews with these non-users, non-customers. And typically in the public services for the cities, there are excluded people. So that's all about inclusion. You will have to include back these people, to bring them back in the city. You will target only what is key issues and dreams from the non-customer and customer. You will eliminate standards. That's all about elimination in the standard offering. You will think always mass market. It's not about having a niche or addressing only the early adopters. It's having a mass market offering. Diverge. So you will do your best to propose something very divergent, very different. It's what you see on the strategic Canva with the Wii example from Jason. And the last one is to be unique, to have a unique offering. That's why it means you have in your offering some unique value elements. It means these elements are proposed only by you on the industry, on the market. Only your new offering you will have to find. They can propose this element of value. Okay, we'll come back on that, but it's important for you to. And here you see the matching between this criteria and the final deliverables. It's the Blue Ocean matrix. So this Blue Ocean matrix, I will share with you 2 examples just to inspire you, and after this you will go directly in the workshop. So it's a short video, but back win the Blue Ocean Awards in 2018 in environment. And you will see it shows that Blue Ocean strategy offerings are always very simple, just a good idea we didn't know about, but we have found. So let me know if you hear the sound of the video.
We're in the backyard of a French restaurant. What can you see?
The sound, the audio?
Yes, we can.
Good. Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you. So, go back. Yeah, start again.
We're in the backyard of a French restaurant. What can you see? Packaging, a lot of packaging. On a worldwide scale, this means that a city as big as Paris would disappear under thrown away packaging in just one day. Today, disposable packaging is king for food delivery. I am Anaïs and I co-founded PandoBag to change that. Wholesalers deliver food to restaurants in disposable packaging. It is expensive, it takes a lot of space, and it ends up incinerated. Same thing for your local food market. The vendors receive their goods in disposable packaging that ends up incinerated. With PandoBag, we replace those packaging with reusable crates. Each delivery is made in those crates that are returned by the restaurants and the vendors. Additionally, we wash and we track the crates. For the whole service, we charge the wholesaler a monthly fee. So Pandobac creates a circular system of crates that suppresses all packaging waste. So help us free the streets
it's a
from
very
the
simple
waste.
idea. You
Thank
see
you.
here what they're using. So do you see? So as you understand, it's the in this principle of land offering they create eliminate compared to the standard of don't eliminate what they bring as new, as unique. Position to sorry, yeah, maybe the Wi-Fi here it's bad. Do you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I was maybe disconnected. So I was asking, do you see what they have eliminated compared to the standard industry? Have you been all able to see all the video? Yeah, those of you?
Yes, we saw the entire video.
Yes.
So the sound quality wasn't good. I think we got the gist.
Okay. Okay, so this interruption. So what do you think they have eliminated compared to the standard offering, this packaging industry, this waste management for the packaging, for the professional packaging in restaurants? Do you see what this value they bring, this new value they bring? Want to, okay. Yeah, Lana?
Yes, I think this is, using the recycling of the containers, that they come back all the time, and that there is a particular sanitization process that goes with it. I think that's the real value add for me here, is that it's not just the recycling of the plastic containers, but it's actually the recycling of the containers through a sanitization process.
It's not recycling, it's reuse.
Yes, reusing. And also these containers could be made out of completely recyclable materials themselves. And I think that is where the beauty of it also lies. And it doesn't just have to be recycled plastics. It could be other waste products like banana fiber. So I think by the sanitization process, it makes whatever recycling method they've used to create these containers a sustainable solution.
So do you see what they have eliminated and what they have created? You see, in these actions they got on the industry, the waste management or packaging, so treating this packaging industry. Basically, it's very simple. What they have eliminated, it's the waste from delivery. When they deploy their solution in the French restaurant, and they started restaurants, they make them eliminating any waste from packaging. And from this delivery, they got from the meat or fish delivery. It's because they reuse always the same boxes to deliver, and they eliminate as a consequence storage, and storage is a very big price, especially in Paris with high price for the rentals, and they eliminate the pollution of this disposable packaging because they don't need to be incinerated or burnt. You see, it's very key here compared to the transportation packaging industry, where you usually have a single use, one use disposable packaging. You can eliminate all this cost and pollution. You see also that reduce as a consequence, reduce the formats of the packaging, they reduce the budget for transport and the storage needed. Ayanda, yes, you raise your hand.
Thank you very much, Abba. I think you should continue your line of thought, and then I will come in, because my question relates to the non-customer part of example. Should I ask it now, or just wait for you to just explain the rest? Raise and reduced.
Yeah, and also Lana Ann, she's saying on the chat, eliminate paper waste, yeah, which accumulate and oceans, yeah, it's always waste produced. If you have a solution, in fact, they don't bring very modern or very disruptive technology. There is no technology, just boxes, but they bring the process and they make this industry evolving, and training them and changing them, transforming them to have this new process of using reusable boxes, and they will take care of the sanitization, cleaning, everything, these boxes, the tracking also of these boxes. And they will evolve all this industry, the delivery, the provider, the producer of the food, and also the restaurants. So they raise also new services, because these boxes are tracked, so they can deliver very interesting data to analyze and to optimize the process. So there will be more on-time delivery, and they create this bespoke service integrated throughout the chain. It's more consulting than bringing a technology very cutting-edge. It just supporting this industry in this transformation. And this is the innovation here. It's not about technology. And Blue Ocean innovation is very rarely about technology. It's more about the good idea and transforming how people, the experience of the people. Ayanda, yes, you raise your hand.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Abba. This is a very nice example. I just wanted to find out, just maybe to go back and just to explain how it was one of the key, aspects of the Blue Ocean, methodology, is that this focus on non-customers, right? Yeah. Maybe if you were to explain how that applies in this particular example, that would help me a great deal.
Yes. In fact, yeah, they were inspired by non-customers because there were all these companies who, and especially in France, there is some evolution of the mindset regarding the pollution and all this. And we have very small spaces in France, especially in Paris. People are in very small spaces. So each time you have a trash, you have something in the streets, it's very disturbing for people. So all these companies very sensitive to the ecology, and they were becoming more and more non-customers of this transportation packaging, because they didn't want anymore all this packaging. They want to reduce and to eliminate if possible. So that's it. And so all these companies or small enterprise looking for sustainable packaging, they were more and more non-customers of the transportation packaging industry, and also a lot of new sectors with this awareness to the ecology becoming more and more key. So in cosmetics, in clothes, publishing, all these other sectors, not yet accessible with this kind of process, but they are interested. So they will be more and more involved in such innovation. Does it answer your point?
Yes, Albert, thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, we had other examples, but we will share them next times with that next session. Here we will start directly with the workshop. So it's for look, we will start first by the construction. You will have to build your strategy canvas on each perimeter, industry perimeter, and then bring an analysis of this strategy canvas. I will show you maybe an example. So we'll switch now on the Igesia platform. So have you all access to the platform? Do you all have access? Have you registered and do you have access to the platform? If not, there is Igesia team here to support you. I see. So here I am on the platform. Yeah, I'm sharing the platform. What we do is to make you to give you the ability to communicate in each group, because as you understand, we have you will be split into different groups based on your perimeter, industry perimeter. So you can see here on the platform, you see all the projects currently accessible, open. This one, sustainability, you can all access it. It's an example, Webman. I will show it to you more in details. On the left here, you see you have a dashboard, speakers, agenda, networking. So it's under construction, but for the 24th, it will be already. You can refer here to the list, to the agenda of all the sessions we will have, and you can see in the network also, networking part, you can see all the participants. So for now, you have 10 participants who have been registered. So I think we are missing some of you. So please check with the Igesia team if you cannot register or if you have not received the email, you should appear here. So if you don't appear, you will not be able to use the platform and the tool for the workshop. So please, who had a problem to register, please let us know. Now there is Jatin Aouja from Igesia. We can bring you through. Also Igesia, you see on the chat, in the Zoom chat, you can contact directly Igesia if you have problem. Some of you, so we are now 11, so we have one more. So please, all of you, please register here. We need you here. So you can see when you have registered, you can access the workshop part with all the project. You can see each key steps as Jason has introduced to you, each key step. So today we will proceed to the visual awakening. Exactly what we will do with at the next session with all the entrepreneurs, and you will be supporting them in that. So what we need now, it's maybe to split. So each of you need to tell me in which group, in which perimeter you want to work, want to be, and you will be supporting your entrepreneurs. So I will create groups, subgroups here in Zoom, so you can all be discussing, being in conference for each group. Just before I do that, are you all okay with this naming, with this industry perimeters we are proposing now? Okay, waste management. So there is energy. It's all about load shedding and everything. Tourism, water, so drinkable water, transportation, more public transportation. It's waste and waste management. So do you want us to add some other industry perimeter? Maybe healthcare. We can. I don't know if in H7 you want to work on the healthcare as is.
Hi, Alban. This is Ngulego from Durban here.
Yeah.
I think in terms of also just being, I suppose, our city as a result of having some sense of bias, there was also the mention of maritime and agribusiness.
Ah, yes, I remember.
Yes.
So
in fact, let me
agriculture. Agriculture,
and the maritime.
And this medic time? What do you mean? Sorry, it's agriculture, but only or?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then in terms of another project, it would be maritime.
Ah, maritime. Yeah, sure. I think you will put it in area. Maritime. You mean B2B port for a port authority, maritime services for industry, for industrial companies. What you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be B2B and B2C, depending on whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah, B2C, it's more tourism, I think. It can be in tourism. But B2B, yeah, it's coaching. So I name it as an industry perimeter. You can see each time you create a new group. So each of your entrepreneurs, they will create their team. Each team, you have to define the name of the team, the industry perimeter, where the team will be working, and select the participants who will be in the team. Okay. Content services. Okay, like this, it's okay. Echo. Yeah, I have a question on the chat. Yeah, okay, you need to synchronize maybe for inside of each incubators to split you in terms of coaches, because one coach can be coaching only one perimeter. It will be too much challenging for you, and you will be lost if you are working in several perimeters at the same time. It will be to start, you need simple approach. So we are good in terms of perimeter. So what we need now is to know who go in which group, in which industry.
Sorry,
So,
Albin.
Yes.
I still have not been able to access the platform. It indicates that I'm logged in, but I can't do anything further. And I'm not getting responses. I've sent mails on the chat.
No, not the chat. It's here, discussion. Igezia, Martin, you have sent a message in the chat in the Zoom?
Yes,
already?
I have.
Okay, I told them on WhatsApp right now.
I sent to Igezia directly.
Igezia, yes, and Jatin also. Try
Jatin. I'm working on it. I'm checking
yes.
on it.
Okay.
I'm checking on it.
Okay, so it's on the way. So yes. Normally it's very smooth and very simple platform. It's in the browser, but working in the browser without installation, it can have some issues, but they will fix it very easily. Okay, do we have everybody joining here? We are now still 11. Isaiah, I don't see you.
Yeah, about from my side, same. I have communicated with the Igezia, so I would imagine they're also working on it. I've sent messages.
Well, in any case, it's important that all of you, the coaches, have access to the platform, and Igezia will do everything to support you on that. But today, you will be in the same Zoom video conference group, so you will be able to work all together. One will be holding the pen, the other one will give directions. But it's based on discussion, of course, of this kind of tools. So we'll split you between each groups, each parameters. So I will launch the subgroups. So how many do we have here? So okay, you will be able also to learn to access directly. So one group, we have coaches interested by the energy perimeter, right? Am I right? Okay, we'll make some calls. Now I'm creating the Zoom subgroups, and you will be able to join them very soon. So we have energy, tourism, water, waste management, said maritime, B2B. This is we have also maybe healthcare, transportation. Okay, soon you will receive a notification from Zoom to invite you to join the room you want in terms of perimeter, industry perimeter. Agriculture. Okay. So before you accept it, yeah. Okay, now you are invited to select your perimeter to join your group. I will show you here with an example. You can all access this example. It's Sun Mobility. It's one of the formal Blue Ocean Awards winner. You can see on my screen. You see, first you have here. You can list the current customers of this industry who are in this industry currently buying for these services, and then you have here key elements. So these key elements will be, in fact, the elements, the key, the criteria to buy or not to buy, or to sell, to take this or this service currently proposed on the industry. Okay, so its price will be always here, and here, for instance, it can be a question of time, of range for the transportation, of investments. So, and you will be these customers you are the customers, and you have to describe for them what is key in their decision to buy this or to take this or this service, water or transportation, bus, train, or I don't know. And then you will have here this part. You can list each of the current product services offerings on the industry. When you have selected and you have the key elements and the products and services offerings, you will see the curves, the value curves here, drawings, and you with your key elements appearing here on the x-axis, and you will be able to make it move, to draw, to select. Okay, based on the current value proposed for each element, on each element, this or this offering, they are higher or they are lower. It's not very absolute value, it's just in reference value, just this or this one is above or below. And you can also make, select and move the key elements. So it's the best way when you're comfortable with the level of each curves. You can rank the elements, the key elements, to have maybe one of the curves growing, with the first elements here low, and then at the end the highest elements. And when you have this, you will be ready to think, to make a conclusion of that. Here you have the question, you can answer based on this strategic canvas. And you can add conclusion. You see here, you click on add conclusion with a title and description of each conclusion. You have some example here. Okay. Do you have question here? With Jason, we'll be visiting each subgroup, of course, to support you. It's okay. No question. So now you can select the group. If you have not received the notification, you just tell me which group you want to join. Okay. Do you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, and I was just trying to find where you were on which platform between different devices, but I see now there's breakout rooms on Zoom. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, the breakout room. Yeah, and if you cannot see the notification, tell me, and I will direct you on the room you want. So, for instance, Isaiah, in which perimeter you want to go? Which one do you select? Isaiah, Jean-Luc, Kwesi?
Alba, yeah, I was trying to get into Kezia. Energy or waste would be good for me.
Waste, yeah. Okay, so okay, as you want. Energy, maybe I think, yeah, it's good. Okay, yeah. Jean-Luc, which perimeter do you select? Jean-Luc, are you here? Les égos, Kensani. Nice, so maybe on the chat.
Hi, Alban. I'd like to be in waste if possible.
It's Jean-Luc speaking, right?
Yes, it's Jean-Luc. Yeah. I did message on the group, but I'm just saying waste would be
management.
fantastic.
Okay, yeah. And we have not to Kula in water. Yeah, here you are. And we have Nathalie in water. We have Jean-Luc waste. Igezia ask you all to kindly check your direct message. And we have Nokuloko. Send a message to Iglesia. Okay, and Nukuleko, where do you want to go? Are you in waste management, maybe the same as Jean-Luc? Or Lisa go in water. Okay, we in Yongama, Aziz, Kansani. What do you want to go? Maybe maritime. Nukuleko, you want to go to maritime?
Yeah, 100%.
To be at least with somebody else. Is there someone else to go to maritime to work on the maritime perimeter with Nukuleko?
I'm not sure, but I'm keen to partner. But if I recall well, it was one coach per per sector, if I'm not mistaken, or per challenge.
Yes, but here to train the coach, you need to be not alone. You need to be in group, to be challenged, to have.
Cool. I'm more than happy to join any other one as well.
Do we have some?
Hi, Alban, it's Kansania.
Yes, Kansani.
Are we only allowed to choose one group?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
as I said, each coach you will be trained on one perimeter industry.
Okay.
It's not possible to. It's because you are discovering all of that. We need to start simple. It's not a very easy methodology. Very powerful, but not always very easy at the beginning. So to start, it's better to start only with one perimeter and be very comfortable with it. So you will be comfortable to support the entrepreneurs on the same perimeter. That really is the idea.
Okay.
Because you already think of all of that before them, and using the same tools. So you will be ready to help them very easily. If you are discovering several things in the same time, so you will mix and can be lost. So Nukuleko in maritime, but do we have somebody? Yongama, Aziz, we don't have news from you. Yongama, Aziz, are you? We have people in energy, water, waste management. And maybe Nukuleko want to go in maritime, but cannot be alone. Aziz, are you here? Do you copy me? Nyongama? So, Kansani, you want to, maybe you would like to try maritime with Nukuleko? Or you think it does not make sense for Tux Innovation?
No, I'll rather stick with waste. Thank you.
You will go in waste, you mean? Sorry, cannot hear.
Yes, I was just saying I will rather stick to the waste category.
Okay, so I'll bring you to waste management?
Yes, please.
Cool. Alban, just to confirm, Aziz is the guy from Morocco, yes?
Yes, Casablanca. And Yongaba
Oh,
from
yes.
UNISA.
100%. And I think you should pair me up with him because he also is from a port city. So I think it might help.
Okay. But Aziz, Yongama, are you here? We don't have news from you. So maybe Jason, you can tell me in which group maybe you can visit to let them start. Maybe These are only two.
I can tell you, or no.
Or waste management, there are a lot. Okay, you can tell me on WhatsApp if you. Yeah. Okay.
If Aziz is not there, I can start with maritime. How about that?
Sorry. Aziz, Yongama, are you here, please? In which industry do you want to go? Yongama, Aziz, no? Well, okay. So Ratin and his colleague, maybe you want me to send you to some groups? Oh. Aziz, are you here? No. So Kuleko, I propose you join in energy. Maybe it's not far from maritime energy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think we also have someone from the city who's involved in energy, so I think I can pull some strong partnerships there.
Okay. Aziz, I don't have news from you and Yongama, so you are leaving. Aziz, you are muted. We don't hear you. Aziz?